Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today we're doing another book review and today we're talking about Crooked Kingdom, the sequel to Six of Crows. So the book starts off where the last one ended and they're working on getting Inez back from Vanek because he kidnapped her at the end of the last book. And interestingly enough, Wylan, the rich merchant's son from the first book, has points of views in this book. He has his own chapters. So they're trying to get their revenge on Vanek when he duped them in the first book, and excuse me, to get the money that they were owed for the ice court job. Kaz in the book is obviously determined as always because he wants to get Inej back, he wants his revenge on Vanek, he wants the money rightfully owed to him and his crew. Mylan is also doing his bit, he wants Inej back. He's a bit torn about what he wants to do about his father because that is his father, so he's not quite sure right now. Jasper is wanting to get Inej back, and obviously he's wanting the money too because he's got his own reasons to want the money. He needs to help his father keep the farm. Nina wants to get Inej back, and she also wants her share of money. What she's going to do with it yet? What she's going to do with it, I'm not sure. It might be going back to Ravka or being with Matthias, who will go to Ravka with her, or they'll go wherever they were planning to go. Inej wants her cut once she gets free of Vanek because she wants to get a ship to hunt down slavers to prevent what happened to her happening to others. And Kaz just wants control of the battle again. Throughout the book, we deviate between the points of view of each character and what they're thinking, how they're feeling, why they do what they do. And what we also discover is that we think, or we did think, that Wyland's mother had passed away in the first book. That was a plot point. But in this book, we discover that she's actually still alive and Van Eck had her put into a hospital and had it said that she didn't have the mental capacity to handle any of her finances. So when Wyland finds that out, he's obviously devastated and he makes it his own personal goal to get her out of the hospital so she can have her life back. So throughout the book, we have three main couples. We have Kaz and Inej, we have Nina and Matthias, and surprisingly, also Jasper and Wyland. So for a lot of the book, Nina and Matthias are clearly already with each other. They're in love, and they're a good couple. They've had a long way to go. Nina had her own issues regarding Matthias because he was a soldier who was trained to hunt Krisha, like her. And Matthias had to let go of his hatred that had been drummed into his head from a young age and understand that Nina is a person at the end of the day and that she's no less dangerous than what anyone else would be. And their love story was amazing. I liked the development, I liked them together, I thought they had very good chemistry. Now let's talk about Jesper and Wyland. So in the first book, I often thought Jesper and Wyland might have something, but I wasn't too sure. In the second book, though, that's a bit more prominent, but however, like in any story, there's misunderstandings, and because Wyland was tailored to look like Kui Yobo, I think I've said that right, excuse me if I haven't, he got them mixed up and he ended up kissing Kui, thinking he was Wyland and Wyland saw, so that put a little rift between them two for a while, but as is with any story, eventually they moved past it and they were able to come together, and I think they're going to be together by the end of the book. I'm pretty sure they were because Wyland was staying with Jasper. at his estate once his father was arrested. Van Eyck, who we were all hoping would get his comeuppance, does in fact get his comeuppance. Kaz has a plot in mind, and let's just say Van Eyck is arrested by the end of it and will probably lose all of his titles. His wealth will all go to Wylan and probably even Alice, his pregnant wife. Why Alice was devoted to Van Eyck, I will never know, but I guess it was the time and women had to support their husbands, even though it's implied she had a effect an attraction to her music teacher, so maybe that's what's going to happen there. But there were talks of her leaving the city as well and going into the countryside to eventually have the baby and raise the baby. This book, like the first one we talked about on this channel, also has art in the back, and I'm going to show you the art right now. Personally, I like the art from the first book a lot better, but these ones aren't bad. So this is Kaz and Inej, and then we've got Nina and Matthias. We've got Jesper and Wylan. And we've got Kuri Yobo, who was the one that they rescued from the ice court in the first book. So I'm not going to give any major spoilers, but I will say that this book was very good. I couldn't put it down. I was reading it as much as I could, what with me working full time, and there was one particular part of it that did make me feel sad. But for anyone who's planning to read that book that might be on this channel, I'm not going to reveal what that was to you. This is just a very short book review while we're still finding our footing here, so I'm going to leave it here and upload this video. I hope you all enjoy and stay tuned for the next book review.